Sharing some of the bottles and things I have found while treasure hunting on my own property. The house was built in 1882, or circa 1882, and there's a dump out back, which I'll show you in a few minutes. And here's some of the glass that I found. This is just a small sampling of it. This is embossed and says Lydia E. Pinkham Vegetable Compound, and it is not a screw top, but it does have seams. This one also has seams and it's not a screw top. It says Henry K. Wampole and Company, Philadelphia, PA, USA. That's a pink one. And this one's kind of a bluish green. It's Scott's Emulsion Cod Liver Oil. One of the really cool things about this glass, you probably can't see it, but it has a pearlescent look to it, and that just might be aging of the glass. I don't really know, but that one also has a seam in it and no screw top. And hang on, over here I have some other bottles that were dug up there. This is just a top which probably had a rubber gasket on it and popped onto something. This is an old, probably medicine bottle of some sort. It just says H216R on the bottom. Would have had a cork top most likely, maybe with a plastic or rubber gasket, I don't know. This is just a square brown bottle with a number 35 on it. I don't know what was in it. Some other markings, not a screw top. This one here is just a green glass bottle, probably perfume. It's not marked at all, but it would have just had a stopper top too. And this dusty little bottle back here would be black glass, and it is purple. Yeah, so you can see it purple a little bit there. At least I hope you can. I can. We don't have good light today because it's very overcast. So those are bottles. And hang on, I will show you some other digs. These are some more recent finds. Actually, just a few weeks ago I was working in the kennel and digging around a cement thing that was in the ground. I don't know what the cement thing is there for. I still don't know. Digging down 3 feet and I still haven't figured it out. But we have a Warren steam pump tag. It's a metal tag, probably brass because it's all green now. And it has a place where the size and number were stamped on it, and it says Warren, Mass, USA. And this, I don't know what it is. Probably was a tool. Kind of looks like it might have been a tool. It's just covered in crud. None of this has really been cleaned off. Just I left it out in the rain to get some of the dirt off it. This is a decorative something or other. Don't know. I think it came off a wood stove. It's possible. As I found other pieces of a wood stove. It has these round spots on it where something could have been inserted on it. Sorry, you can't see that very well. So I don't know for sure what that is, but I'm thinking it was part of a wood stove. Someone else said it was probably from a cemetery, but I don't think so. There's an old hinge. You can see the holes on the hinge, and these are the old screws. They're stuck in there. They're rusted in. I know they're screws because I can actually see a slotted head of a screw on it. It's kind of worthless. I don't know why I save these things. And this here is just a big heavy chunk of metal. I'm thinking it's a car part. Where I found it is a place that was filled in with stuff from the dump out back. And I will show you that next. I'll show you the dump. This is the U-shaped concrete structure I was digging in and found those last pieces that I showed you. I was hoping that maybe this might have been stairs that were poured to go into the basement of the house, but no. I got to the bottom and it was just a flat concrete surface. So there may have been a septic system that got covered here. I really don't know, but they filled it anyway. They filled this whole area with stuff. So that's not the primary dump though. Hold on. I'll take you for a walk. some gray skies up there. So my primary dump is up back here in the North 40. And since I'm on the way to the North 40, this is the other part of the area I found a lot of things in. It's my stone wall. Now, someone had once upon a time pushed up all this dirt up against the stone wall in order to cover trash. And so there's trash in there, which started to be excavated but hasn't been finished. So there's a stone wall, and you can see there's an old license plate up there, part of a car. Every time I go up there I find more junk, lots of brick. Car parts have been pulled out of there, tons of car parts, and other things. I do try to weed, just because I don't want the weeds to spread. I gotta get back up there. I already did it once and I gotta do it again. But that's a rich source of finds. So I'll show you the next part, but I'll pause it here. This is the backyard. Backyard. Call my North 40. It's not 40. But, where you see, you can tell there's yellow flowers. And then going back up there where there's some rocks. And some stones. All in there is where I had people dig several years ago. And other people take stuff home. That's where most of those bottles came from that I showed you. And over here is the workshop we were walking towards. The back of this workshop, when I bought this property, had an addition on it. And it had collapsed in. The roof had collapsed and the floor had collapsed. That's all been taken away. But the reason it collapsed is it has some very heavy machinery in it. And as far as I know, that machinery is still lying under the wood and branches and leaves. The kind of junk, this is just a little piece of it. There's tires. I'm going to pause it and go back where I can go. I can't go this way. So hold on. I had first moved in, I made this path going along the stone wall because I wanted to walk my dogs up here. Well, I didn't exactly make the path, it was kind of here, but it was full of glass. So I spent weekends digging 2 feet down, getting as much glass as I could, and laid stone on the sides so I'd have a decent path to walk on. Now the glass works its way back up, so it's still got lots of glass in it. But if I look over here to the side of the path, you can still see broken bottles and amongst the brick. Oh, I hate walking in here, to be honest, because there's a lot of broken glass. Mostly is left is broken, but the old pottery. Sorry, I didn't realize I was still zoomed in. Old pottery. And there's an old jug over here. Oh. Crunch, crunch. I think it's an old jug. Unfortunately, it's broken. And crocks and dishes. This stuff's pretty much been dug through, but my guess is there's a heck of a lot more. I know there's stuff in amongst the boulder and underneath there. There's friends were digging there, and the dump goes way up back in there. So, yeah, this was a dump, and basically still is a dump. So, the reality prepper 2012. If you think you would make more of a mess coming here, you're wrong. See, there's another piece of metal, which my guess is a piece of a car. More metal. I did have somebody come and take a whole bunch of the metal. They were just glad to take it. I was glad that they took it. I'm sure they got some money for it. So I'm going to show you one place has a treasure trove. Looks pretty bad from back here. Back side of the workshop. But hang on. Okay, the old workshop. This was once upon a time somebody's place. They had fun. Okay, there's not much in here anymore that is old. Right now it's used for storage, actually somebody else's stuff. But they're old drill bits. Those were here. An old bottle of oil, and a couple of tin cans. And every once in a while we still keep running across, you know, what the heck is this thing? Oh, I'm not sure what that is, but that was here. I mean, here's a little bottle. I mean, there's just so much stuff in here. Somebody made this little shelf, probably to put tools in. There's a lot of junk in here that I'm not sure was here when I moved in, because the person using some of the space for storage also has a lot of junk in here. But the other part that's neat is along the rafters. All this wood was here when I moved in the house and bought the property. And there's a dowel collection. It's pretty funny. And I really love this workshop because it, you know, you can't see out the window. Yeah, you can. There's my barn, and the house is over there. But it's set way back, and this structure is actually still pretty sound, except for the roof. The roof does need to be replaced, and some of the floorboards. Here's a treasure. Sticking out of the floor in the workshop is a stone, which my guess is they couldn't move. Oh, spider webs. Ugh, yuck. But there's actually chain attached to the stone. I don't know what the heck they use that for. But that's a treasure. It's a treasure. I can't move. It's part of the building. It's in the floor. Pretty strange, huh? One more thing in here is pretty cool. It's an old vise. That's an old vise. And it's built right into a workbench, and it still works. It still cranks. You'd actually have to pull it apart a little bit because it's stuck. And there's some leather in there, I think, that they used. But it does still work. Whoops. And up in the garage is a giant thing. I don't even know what it is, and I'd take a picture, but it's so dark up there, I'd have to get some special lights to take a picture. So these are some finds that I didn't have to dig for. They just came with the property. And I'm going to share with you some of those weird finds.